the impression we make tonight. This was perhaps the most revealing moment of our experiment so far. The realization that even our social life, which she had always considered her domain, was carefully orchestrated by me in ways she'd never bothered to notice. Pay special attention to the regional director's notes, I added. He's considering me for the expansion project, but he'll be evaluating whether I understand the political landscape before making his decision. By afternoon, I was calmly preparing an elaborate meal while she paced the house, frantically reviewing my notes and practicing conversation starters. When I suggested she change into something more professional for the evening, she disappeared into our bedroom for nearly an hour. At exactly 7 p.m., our first guests arrived. I greeted them warmly, took their coats, and guided them to the living room, where she waited stiffly, clutching a glass of wine like a lifeline. What unfolded over the next 3 hours was both fascinating and vindicating to watch. While I effortlessly served course after course of perfectly timed dishes, she struggled to navigate the complex interpersonal dynamics of my professional circle. I observed as she attempted to implement my strategies, redirecting conversations away from controversial topics, highlighting accomplishments of key players, mediating between competing personalities. The breaking point came during dessert. The regional director casually mentioned a controversial policy change that divided the company leadership. All eyes turned to her, waiting for the diplomatic response I would normally provide, the one that would acknowledge all perspectives while subtly reinforcing the position that would benefit our team. Instead she froze. "I'm not sure I have strong feelings about that particular issue," she stammered, a response that satisfied no one and potentially alienated everyone. I watched the regional director's eyebrows rise slightly, a tiny gesture I recognized as disappointment. In that moment, thousands of dollars in potential project funding likely evaporated. When our guests finally departed around 10:30 p.m., she collapsed onto the couch, emotionally exhausted in a way that physical labor could never induce. "How many of these dinners do you host per month?" she asked quietly. "2 or 3, I replied while collecting wine glasses. Plus lunch meetings, industry events and the quarterly office parties where similar dynamics are at play. She shook her head slowly. "I always